Now, if you put some money away for a rainy day, make sure you keep your eye on it. A Queensland pensioner has had nearly $50,000 taken from her bank account by the government. 11 years ago, Doris Osborne set up an ANZ savings account to set aside money to pay for a funeral. The last deposit was in 2006, and since then it's been earning interest every month. On a routine visit to the bank, her daughter Jan discovered the balance was zero, with nearly $50,000 gone.
The girl at the teller, who's known Mum for years and myself, came back and she was just white. She just looked at me and she said, "It's gone."
Federal legislation passed last year means money from bank accounts which have been inactive for just 3 years is automatically transferred to the government's Consolidated Revenue Fund. Before that, the period of inactivity was 7 years.
How can a government do that and how can nobody tell us?
The ANZ is investigating why the family wasn't notified by phone or mail. All dormant bank accounts will be at risk from the end of the week. And Doris's daughter Jan joins me now, along with Christopher Zinn from the consumer network One Big Switch. Good morning to you both. Now, Jan, you had no warning of this cash grab.
No, I didn't, Koshy. When they rang the bank up, they said I should have got a letter at the beginning, early in the year, which I found quite incredible because I had in my file every statement that I'd received for the last 12 years. And so I found that it was unusual that I would not have got a letter, but nobody could tell me the date it was sent or the address it was sent on. Right. And they couldn't tell me why it was only sent to my mother's address, not my address and my brother's address, and because we're both on the account.
Yeah, this is something that's sort of just snuck up on everyone, hasn't it? Has your mum got her money back now?
Yes, she has, Koshy, yes. Thanks in part to Channel 7 here in Hervey Bay.
OK, was it a big effort to get the money back?
It would have been. I was told at the time that the staff at the Hervey Bay branch, or the Torquay branch of the ANZ, were as shocked as I was. So they were excellent. They went about their business and they found out what had to be done, and we filled the forms out. But because it was 3 names, we had to get the signatures for all 3 people, and my brother's in Townsville, so that was quite complicated because he works out in the field. So we had to get that. We had to go and tell Mum. I was hoping that I could just fix it up and not let her worry about it, but we had to go and tell her about it. It took me most of the day, and I was really desperate. They did say I would get it back, but probably it would take 3 months, which when you're 95, 3 months is it's quite a long time.
Well, for anybody, and that's a lot of mucky around. You'd rather go to the beach or see the grandkids than spend it chase you up an account. Christopher Zinn, this is one of those things that has snuck up. So many people have an account, like we have an account with our emergency money in it that we just keep there. It's been inactive for 3 years, keeps earning interest, but we haven't put any more in. It's a set amount. And we got one of these letters too.
Oh, it's extraordinary. I'm sure there's actually thousands of people who are affected, and many more watching today who are going to think, my goodness, and they'll check. Yep. And it's not just customers who don't know. It seems people who work in banks don't know either. So there's, well, this may be for a good idea because the government felt many people had lost money and it was being eroded by inflation and fees, and they'll have a new website, people to be united from it. Those are good reasons, but actually reducing the period from 7 years to 3 years seems very arbitrary. I wasn't asked about it. The Bankers Association said they weren't asked about it. It just makes for a whole lot of trouble.
Okay. Couple of things. What happens to the money?
It goes into consolidated revenue. Yeah. The good thing is that they will pay you interest for the first time ever at the CPI, what is the Consumer Price Index,
2.5%,
and at tax-free. So look, you know, for some people this might be a good investment opportunity, but as we've heard, getting the money back takes time. Really?
Is Jan right there? It can take 3 months to get your money back. That's a lot of fart-arsing around to get your money back.
It is. Well, I've seen some of the banks, because this is not just the big 4 banks, it's credit unions, it's all the deposit-taking institutions. They warn it can take weeks. And of course, there's always the shock of actually finding the money's gone. That's a hard thing for people to be compensated, especially elderly people.
So check your accounts. Look, go to, as Chris was saying, there are lots of websites you can find your lost money. Talk to your bank. But that's the annoying thing. they've taken it pretty quick and pretty easily, but for us to go and get it back, that's a lot of mucky around, and we'd rather spend that time doing something else.
Just put, 5 cents in all your accounts. My advice today, 5 cents or $1. At least you'll get 3 years grace, and especially for elderly family members, make sure addresses are up to date. But again, with this example, banks or whoever obviously aren't getting in touch with people to tell them it's gone.
All right, great warning. Thank you, Chris.